Hello, one. So this was number 8 on the 2025 target round. So the figure shows a circle tangent to the lengths AC and BC of the right triangle ABC, and the circle intersect the hypotenuse AB at x and y, and then we are given 6, 14, and 10, and we want to find the area of the triangle in the nearest 100 place. Okay, so like one of the first thing that I see immediately, when you have some tangent line or secant line, we kind of want to use the power of point. So if I want to say, let's say point K. So by the power of point, the square of AK, okay, so the square of AK is equal to the distance from A to the first intersection of the circle, which is 6, times the distance from A to the second intersection, which is 6 plus 14, which is 20. So again, this is the one of the 3 version of the power of points. So that's going to give us AK as something in square root of 120. So let's keep that in mind. So right now I'm gonna just leave it as it is. I'm gonna simplify it, yeah. So if I don't need to, and then if I use the same thing, let's call this is L. So if I take this B as a point outside of the circle, catching like drawing 2 lines, one is tangent, one is secant. So the square of B to L is equal to the distance from B to the first intersection, which is 10, times the distance from B to the second intersection, which is XBX. So 14 plus 10, which is 24. So from here, so we got BL as square root of 240. Okay, so that is something. So I'll have this is a square root of 120, and this is square root of 240. So like if you had like the center somewhere here, and then if you drop the kind of the radii to the tangency point, so you do get like a square, right? So maybe I should do this way. So like if I do this now, so this is R and this is R. Since we know this is going to be 90 degrees because you like connect the center to the tangency point, so same thing going on here as well. Since we have 390, so that will force this to be 90 as well, and that will be actually a square, so which is why this is R and this is R as well. So the thing is now we have a triangle ABC, and we know the 2 legs in terms of R and some number, and the hypotenuse is given, so we can use the pi tag. So that will be like R plus root 120, okay, to the second power, plus R plus square root of 240 is equal to, when you combine all these numbers, that will be 30 squared. So like this is what we have. And then if you do have some like calculator will help you to solve this equation for R, you can just go ahead and do that, which will give you something in decimals anyway. But without really solving for R, maybe we should look for what we are interested to see if that's actually going to be easier. So we are looking for the area. So I'm going to take 1/2 times AC. AC is like R plus square root of 120. And then BC will be R plus square root of 240. So if I simplify this, we'll get 1/2. So when you expand those, you'll get R squared, and then R times this one and R times this one, which will give us R times square root of 240 plus R times square root of 120, and then plus this number times this number. This is going to be 2 times 120, so we don't really need to simplify, but if I do that, so you'll get 120 times 2, and then there will be another 120, so which I can take 120 outside, so that should be 120 root 2. That will be my last term. So this is what we are interested in, and this is what we know. Like if I expand this first equation that we got by pi tag, so we will actually get something similar as well. So that will give us R squared, and then you'll get 2 copies of the product of these 2 terms, which is going to be 2 times R times like square root of 120, and you get square root, that number will be 120. And if I expand the second one, so you get R squared plus 2R times square root of 240, and then plus 240. Again, this is equal to 900. So like we have R squared, which is 2 copies, and then we have 2R, and then we have 2R as well. So like if I divide both sides of the equation by 2, and then clean this mess a bit, so you'll get R squared plus R times square root of 120 plus R times square root of 240. And then you got 120 and 240, which is 360, right? And since I divide by 2, so you'll get 180. And then the half of 900 will be 450. So the thing is, this part right here is exactly the same as this, which is I can take the 180 out of 450, so and then that will give us this expression without really solving for R. So if I do that, so I will get just 270 for this part. So then the rest is just plug into calculator, right? So if I take the 1/2 times like 270 plus 120 root 2, so I will get the answer. So let me plug in 2, and then 120, and then we'll take the 1/2. So if I do that, so you'll get 219, 85, 28, and we'll continue. Since we are interested like nearest 100, so that will be just our answer. So 0.85, because this is 2. So 219 and then 0.85. So that meant to be last question on the target, which is kind of challenging, especially if you try to like kind of like solve this equation for R. But in general, we don't really want to find the unknown unless we really need to kind of do that. So since we are looking for the area, I just kind of want to write the area in terms of whatever I have. and see if there is some way to relate what we have and what we are looking, which was actually the point of the problem, I guess. But if you do have any, I don't know, like other solution, maybe it's slicker than this, let us know. So I'd like to see more solution, but this is at least one solution. Okay, anyway, I'll see you in the next video.